Hello, I am Sahi and I am the co-founder of Navatman, and I'm here with Ananda Nadayogi, Elizabeth Gergaud, and Flute Raman Kalyan. And today they graced us with this amazing meditative concert featuring the Carnatic violin and the Carnatic flute and healing bowls, which I assume are from Tibet, but I don't actually know if that's the origin of all healing bowls. I'm just assuming from my own knowledge.
They're quartz crystal.
Okay, and they are from Tibet or no?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, the metal bowls are from Tibet and the Himalayas.
Okay.
They're-
Alright, so I guess we'll start with my first question. So basically they did a concert where they led us through some asana practice, some breath practice, and then finally led us into kind of a guided meditation where we sat with the music and the sounds of the healing bowls, sound bowls? Is that what I would call it?
Singing bowls.
Singing bowls for an hour. I'm learning. I'm sorry, I know a lot about Carnatic music and Hindustani music and not so much about this, but I'm hoping to learn today. And it was a really incredible, phenomenal experience. You could feel the vibrations through your body. And so we're here with them now just to learn a lot more about how this concert came to be, what these instruments are and what they represent, their unique factors, and what you guys are hoping to do with this project as you move forward. So why don't we start, Elizabeth, why don't you tell us a little bit about the singing bowls, the history around them a little bit, and then we can kind of go from there.
Okay, well, the singing bowls, the quartz crystal really amplifies energy. And it really travels well through our bodies, our energy centers, and just helps clear and realign the chakras and the nadis. The singing bowls, they came about from the computer technology industry. It's some sort of byproduct from making computer chips that somebody figured out when they were hitting them that they're very resonant. So sometime in the 80s, I think that they discovered that they could be tuned very precisely and used for healing.
That's amazing. I thought they had this like ancient 200-year-old history at least. It sounds like maybe it crosses over with a lot of resonant thought processes and sciences of the Indian arts. But why don't you guys tell me how you kind of found each other, brought all of this together, decided to bring it together, that kind of thing, and we'll go from there.
So we were all of us into music. We both into Indian classical music, and Elizabeth was also interested in the Indian classical music. She started learning the Carnatic music as well. She's already a voice student.
Oh, amazing. Well, you have a very lovely voice, but I thought I was hearing like the music from Dune. I wasn't sure where that came from, but that was my initial thought I was like, oh, is that the same kind of history? I don't know.
And the common string that connects us is as also yoga, meditation, and especially Indian classical music. If you look at the compositions, they're all like the lyrics, and the purpose of music is all about devotional, or it's about moksha, the liberation, the self-realization. So the music by itself is a part of yoga. In Indian tradition we have Nadayogi, and in Austin I happened to Elizabeth invited me for a sound healing session, or they call it sound bath. So I just attended like a participant, and as soon as it was done, I felt like so refreshed, so rejuvenated, as if like you went for a vacation, had a good night's sleep, and you wake up early in the morning listening to the birds chirping, the river flowing, all those natural sounds, right? So that was the kind of experience I had, and the body was so relaxed. So I thought when the Indian classical music has such a background, why not combine it together and experiment? And we tried that in Austin. It was a big success. There was a very good feedback from the participants. And with Raman, we always have performed together we had opportunities to work together, and always invites me for any performances in and around.
So it kind of like naturally grew from this first invitation. Amazing. Would you ever think about bringing other instruments into the mix, or you feel like this is like a tight sound system going between the flute and the strings and the singing bowls?
Can you specifically talk about the flute, the sound of flute, how it's...
Yeah, it's very, very calming. So I usually play, I always, I had a love for the bass flute because the frequencies, when it comes to healing and all this meditative music, it's all about frequencies, sound frequencies. And the bass flute has a very low frequency. And the lower it gets, it's very, very, it touches your soul. So I was always attracted to the bass flute a lot because that's what they play in the Hindustani music. And our Carnatic flute is a little high pitched.
Yes.
So I always love the sound. And I think 15-16 years back, I did my very first meditative CD, music for deep meditation. So there's a company here in New York which got me the CD, which approached me to do the CD. And ever since I'm like very, very involved to understand. I've done a lot of retreats and music, and I feel very, very happy about doing this.
So actually I completely agree with that. I think the Bansuri, whenever they hit the first saw in a concert, I suddenly, even today, I felt like chills all over the body. It has some kind of striking frequency at that point. Yeah, please play.
Yeah. Is a expression of yourself, your soul. So music is a medium to express. That's why they always say whatever you cannot express in words, you can express through music. It's such a very powerful medium, and that has a power to calm you, because the music you see, it has emotions in it, and it has a power to make you dance. See, just imagine dancing without music.
Yeah,
so it'll be it's impossible. It's because music and dance. Music is the one which makes you dance. So, in fact, I remember one interview of Michael Jackson. So somebody asked Michael Jackson, what makes you? He comes up with all this new movements and all that. So what makes you do all this, invent and all this? He said, don't ask me, ask my music. So the music has that kind of power to it. So I think, and so the music definitely has, I would like to share an experience how I got serious into healing music and meditative music.
Please.
One of my friends' relative got cancer, and she was in the 4th stage. The doctor sent her home, and since I was doing little meditative music, she called me. My friend called me and said, "Please play for her." And I just went, and I have a lot of my favorite ragas, calming ragas, and also these ragas are so many. You pick the ragas depending on the energy. You take it, whatever the energy is there. Based on that, you have an intuition to pick a raga, you pick a tune. So I played for her, and it went well, and she was listening. She was very scared, and all that, because you're like approaching death and all that. You don't know how the other side is. So her name was Ratna. Ratna auntie was very, very scared, and then I played, and then I came back. The next day I got a call from her husband. He was in tears, and he said like, "Oh, she has not slept for 2 weeks, and after this, she slept very well. I don't know how to thank you." And then that made me think, when music is there to perform concerts and all this, it is there, but this is something, the satisfaction it gives when somebody has that kind of healing and calming effect. I thought I can do a lot with my flute, and this is like a wonderful opportunity, and I want to thank you for bringing us here. You're doing an incredible job, like presenting. This is a new kind of thing, which it's hard to do this kind of concerts. Thank you for bringing us here.
Thank you for coming here. I've been hearing that a lot lately, but I just bring what I enjoy and what I'm ready to. I think is going to be well received.
No, I really admire, and that's why I was asking how you do all this, because it takes a lot. Because I run an organization too, and it takes a tremendous amount of effort to keep it going. And congratulations, you're doing, and any support from all your viewers and supporters, it means a lot, because it goes a long way.
100%. Yes, that's very, very, very true. I had so many thoughts when you were saying that. One is, first, I'll try to remember them point by point. You were right when you say, like, it's those people, so many people are so impacted by the music and dance, if they just kind of open their mind to giving it a chance. I have a lot of students who are actually not well, either physically or otherwise, and they say that dance or music is the only
we would be happy to do any sessions like that. If for I also do this music. We go to the shelters, I play music sometimes.
That's
it's
amazing.
just for the sake of bringing happiness to them. So, and I have also tried to play in people who are terminally ill and all that, old age homes. So any such, if there's a session needed, we will be happy to do it, right? Like always. Yeah, it's like, it's just the pleasure of making,
we do what we do. It's more for that one person you're connecting with than the large stages. Yes. They have their place in time. Like, this is the stuff that drives us. You take all the other things away, we still have this moment. And then the other thing that sat with me was the frequencies and the ragas. I have two questions. I'll ask them both and you can decide how you want to answer them. But the first was, I remember one artist once said to me, and he's actually also a flautist, Deepak Ram. He's in Virginia.
Good friend of mine.
This is Ravi Shankar's quote.
We have played together. Yeah.
I believe that. They're also phenomenal Hindustani flautists. And he said, when you start to think of music as vibrations and frequencies, you see music as the physics of life. You see the vibrations and frequencies everywhere in the world around you. And that's what I felt like the concert was. I felt like I was not only I was feeling them, but I was also seeing that space kind of move in different ways around me. And I feel like other people had a sense of that as well a little bit. So my first question is, I'm just putting that out there, and like whatever you want to expound upon that. Recently I've been reading about how Indian architecture has also frequencies in the temple pillars and things like that. Yes. Incredible stuff. And then the second question I have was, I had also a friend recently who broke both his feet, and so we were looking up articles in the National Institute of Health, and he started playing, I think it was one of the 8 ragas, Ananda Bhairavi. And it's supposed to actually heal the body, like create healing sensations and physically heal the body as well. So I'm curious also about what ragas do that, and why do you feel that they kind of aid in this way? Do you know any of the science, like actual proven literature, whatever that means and however we want to take it? And are there any theories you have in that as well? So it's 2 big open-ended questions.
One thing I want to address is, the thing which I like the most is, the great scientist Tesla. He said, if you want to understand life, always think in terms of frequency, vibration, and energy. Only the whole life is an interplay of these 3 things. So,
I would agree.
And then our sound is all about the frequencies and the vibration. Every sound has a different vibration, right? It makes a different effect on the bodies. And you want to say, like the water molecules, you were saying, like how each frequency can make a geometric pattern on the water particles. You want to share that?
Yes, there was a Japanese water study where they spoke different words over water, and then partially freeze the molecules into pictures, and the positive words, they make beautiful mandala shapes, and prayers, mantra, make beautiful shapes. And then if it was a negative word, it would make like a splat.
Wow.
Or I think heavy metal made splats. But things like Mozart made beautiful patterns. They also did it with healing music, and it makes beautiful patterns.
What happens with pop music? Do you know? Like top 40 styles?
I don't know.
Curious.
We'd have to go look at the pictures.
Yeah.
But it's just incredible. It affects our bodies. You know, all the water in our body, the molecules, and so I found that study really interesting. And it's even visual, like you're saying, how you can see these energy vibrations, you feel it in your body, or you have visual sense of it. One of the ladies yesterday at the session was talking about that, about how she was starting to see geometric patterns and things and feel that inside her body while we were doing the session here yesterday.
It was really nice to see all the participants and interact. And another thing, I have an experience. There is a Swamiji in Mysore who is like internationally known, Ganapati Sachidananda Swami. And I have played a lot of music with him, and he does only concerts for healing concerts. And he has our Carnatic ragas really codified, like what ragas. And in fact, he did one in Carnegie Hall too recently.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that.
yeah. So and then he shows like Malay Maratha. It has effects on your upper part of the body and this nervous system, all that. And he has done a lot of research on that. But I also want to share another thing. Music is not just for human beings. So I do a project where I play 1,000 ragas at 1,000 locations. I play for a lot of animals. So I played for all kinds of animals like tortoise, cows of course all the time. But rabbits, horses, all kinds of animals I played. They really enjoy. Once
I was playing your music in my house, and all the cats came on the table and went to the phone. Like for real. Like, they came from different parts of the house.
Oh my God!
The one when you were in Dubai.
Yeah.
The cats, they loved it. And I tested it. I would put it on again later in the day. They came back again.
Oh my God! No, I'm so happy to hear this.
It's like when they say Krishna would play and all the animals would come running, that kind of.
Yeah, this
So,
is.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, linking from there, like the music, the swaras, about the vibrations. Same way, we have an energy body, the aura, which is also vibrating in a certain frequency. And the energy centers, according to the science of yoga, the chakras, they are all vibrating in certain frequencies. And the Saptaswaras, the 7 musical notes, which is very universal, is part of all systems of music, connected with the 7 chakras, starting from the Shadjam, the Sa, Ri, Ga, Ma, Pa, Da, Ni.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? Because I know if they're a musician or an Indian musician, we know Sarigama Padani is the main notes of what we do, but I didn't know anything about the chakras and
They have colors too. They're connected to the chakra system.
According to yoga, there are basic 7 chakras. They are the Muladhara, which is at the base of the spine. It's a whirlpool of energy facing downwards, connecting us to the earth. And then the pubic region is the Swadhisthana chakra. They say it's your Sambamoorthy, it's your own seed image. And as you go higher towards the navel center, it is the Manipuraka chakra, Anahata chakra, which is the heart center, and then Vishuddhi is the throat, Ajna is the third eye between the eyebrows, and Sahasra is the crown chakra, which is facing upwards, which is constantly receiving energy.
Sahasra. My full name is Sahasra because of the crown chakra. Actually.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, for also the lotus on which Lakshmi sits is the Sahasra.
And like how she said in the water molecules, how those changes happen. In this energy body also, it creates beautiful pattern, the chakras. become.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I want to share an
Talent.
experience for that. Once I played a concert in Shiva Vishnu temple there, and then I took an American friend who doesn't know any of our language or any music. He's not exposed to Carnatic flute or anything. But he came to my concert, and then he just enjoyed the concert, and he had tears in his eyes. On our way back, we went, and then he also was surprised, like what made the music so soulful, and the music touched my soul, and I couldn't control, like tears just flowed. He asked me, what is this? I didn't know at that time, and I said, like, oh, let me ask one of my philosophical gurus and see what is going on, and then I'll answer you. And then I asked one of my gurus, like, see, he doesn't know any of what song I played, what ragam I played, or nothing. But the music still touched him, and he was able to, connect and cry. And then my guru said, like, this is what happens, There is this subject called sound semantics. You can see a lot of YouTube videos on that, where if you play a frequency on a sheet of paper, they put sand, and then if you play ga ma pa, it rearranges itself and makes a pattern. You can see that. And that's what they say, like when you chant all these mantrams, Om Namah Shivaya probably makes a pattern of a Shivalinga and all that stuff. So that's like deep, that's deep. But you can definitely see these videos. They're called sound semantics. There are a bunch of videos there. But that's exactly what happens. So when you are playing a very connective music, and when it is connected with the Shruti, just one with that, and so sonically you are creating a pattern, right? It's like an artist making a sketch on the canvas, like that. Sonically we are sketching a swarupa of a raga devata. We are just bringing the hologram of that devata. So and that's vibration. That, and every raga has, I can demonstrate right now. Like if I play a very happy raga, it's like uplift you. And just by changing one note, it can make you sad. You want to just try that? So.
You want to play also?
This is a happy raga, right?
Yeah.
Very happy.
I feel very peaceful. You felt that mood shift right off the bat.
I'm just changing one note, and then it changes. It's the whole atmosphere of that. It makes you sad. So the raga I played was Mohanam, and then from there I just played a small minor ga, and then that makes it Shivaranjani. And immediately Shivaranjani is so sad. See, they all carry those emotions, and then when a master musician knows how to, it's like like a chemist, how you can mix them in a proper proportion, and then
So when coming to ragas, the raga form, the ragas have a form that you were mentioning, and ragas are devatas according to the deities. So if you look at the names of the different ragas, like you mentioned about Ananda Bhairavi, so Bhairavi is a goddess, and Ananda is the ultimate bliss, and many of the raga names, Shankara Bharanam, they are all connected with the different deities and what are their nature, and how they can heal the body is so obvious from that.
That makes sense. Are the chakras also, you said they're also connected to the bass notes? Or is that not correct? Did I miss?
Yes, you are right. Yeah.
So does it go like Shacham,
Shabam, Kantha, yes.
Very interesting. Okay, so why don't you guys tell me a little bit, Elizabeth, or since we haven't heard from you in a little bit, but tell us a little bit about what you're hoping the project will continue to do, what you want to do with it moving forward, maybe what you want the audience to get out of it, and then we can end with like a 2-minute snippet from all three of you and kind of go from there.
I think just deeply relaxation and meditation, getting to know our minds, and just leaving behind anxiety and letting the body feel better, the mind feel better. that's the point of the sound healing. And then it's just so blissful having these musicians playing.
I mean,
It
you have
really
world-class musicians.
Yeah.
Kind of adding to the sound of it doesn't hurt.
And when we were talking about the ragas and how there's a nature to all of them, there's also something else that happens when we play, especially in sound healing. You know, you're connecting with the divine, and you're opening yourself as a conduit for this healing energy to flow through you with the best intentions, that it helps the people there in the way that they need it. So I think that's the biggest intention with what we are doing.
Yeah, I totally agree with what Elizabeth says. The intention is the main thing, and if your intention is to, I want to do this music very sincerely, and your approach is total sincerity, that whoever comes to the session, they should feel the healing. And if you're totally, if you have that conviction, I'm sure that shows up in what happens. So I want to, why don't you sing something which we did? I think that will give the audience the, she does all this, I'm super impressed with this, but she learned all this Tibetan chanting.
Is that what?
It's very hard to learn, and she has learned from several teachers. In fact, yesterday she took us to one of her teachers in New York. So I was like, and she would understand all the things what the teacher says to her, and it was hard for me to catch up and follow, but she, because of her interest, so I've been asking how she got all that. So, and then in the session, it was totally extempore, she did some chanting which are very close to our ragas, and because of the experience I could match and complement the chanting. You want to do that a little bit?
Yeah. Let's, before anything else we want to say, we'll leave the audience with this last little bit. So we'll do the singing last, but anything else anyone wants to add to anything, or have the audience know about, or share?
Yeah, we would like to do more of these sessions, bigger settings, of course, and we would be happy to answer any of your viewers' questions too. And it's always learning, and I like to interact, because every time the audience, they come up with some question, it's always and that's why we got feedback from each one of them. And today, unfortunately, there were many people we couldn't attend each one of them. But yesterday, every one of them, they said their experience, how it was and all that. And so it feels very happy to do this with our learning and with our music, if we can do kind of healing.
We're definitely looking forward to taking it far and wide to bigger audience, and take the concept and its experience to really single heart to experience that healing and relaxation, relieving the stress.
Yeah, I always feel that when the music gives so much happiness to you, you want to share it with the world, right? Share it with everybody. Why can't everybody enjoy this,
Why can't everyone also heal themselves the way I do?
Yeah. But anyway, thank you so much once again for bringing us here. I know it's very, very challenging always to run shows and do all this kind of different programs. And of course, when Ananda ji said that we can do this, thanks for being open and being supportive of this.
Yeah. Happy to. I mean, these days I have a lot of help, so it's not as taxing as it once was. And we will
Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you. We'll end with a little bit of the understanding of how these instruments all merge.
You want to tell a little bit about your Tibetan learning and all that?
Well, first, let's tell them we have plans to make an album.
Oh, amazing.
We are going to record some of this music and have it so people can listen. And we hope to come back again.
We hope to have you back again. I think people were we heard so many comments afterwards, I really hope you guys bring this back again, and they were just so happy to be here. And even I was just happy to have a concert experience that allowed me to experience the music differently too. I sometimes feel like I try to tell people it's okay actually if you fall asleep in a concert. It probably means that you don't sleep very much and your nervous system is finally chilling out enough that you can kind of knock out a little bit. So I tell people if you fall asleep at concerts, I think it's a good thing. It doesn't mean anything.
For me, it's like especially in a way because sometimes the Carnatic concert setting is very challenging, right? You're doing muktayams and you know you're doing all this very challenging things, and like the audience is on the edge of the seat and you know seeing what is happening and all that, and it's very intense. And this is very relaxing for us also as